Hello and welcome to another pick a card reading. My name is Persephone Rice and today pick a card is going to be what invisible contract are you bind to without knowing? The choices today are pens because pen represents signing a contract and you would know when you sign a contract physically in the physical 3D world, but you might not remember or unknowingly enter into a spiritual or soul contract by words, by promises, and you might not remember it. So yeah, those are what we are going to be looking at today. There's 4 pie to choose from. The first one is this green pen. These are Muji pen. The second one is this brown pen. The third one is this orange pen. And the fourth one is this blue pen. Yeah, pick whatever pie you are drawn to, and please remember that this is only a general reading. If the message doesn't resonate, please just leave it. And yeah, that's it. Let's go. Hello pie 1, whoever chooses this green pen. So today reading is going to be a quick reading about what invisible contract that you are bind to, maybe without knowing. So you got this card, number 18. Dog, man best friend, faithful and true. His soul he lent in trust to you. A pat on the head delight the own boy, and rewards you greater with loyalty and joy. And then clarified by the Tower, and this quote, to thy own self be true. So pie 1, I feel like this contract is very straightforward and very obvious. I think it's pertain to your pet, specifically a dog. Maybe your dog look like this with this white and brown colors. Does this look like a dog breed Shih Tzu, or is it some other type? But yeah, you have invisible contract with your pet, and it does bind you with that specific pet. It doesn't have to be a dog, but this is very straightforward, honestly. And if you don't have a pet, you might be entering a contract with a pet soon, or like you might suddenly find yourself owning one. With the Tower, it indicates that it happened suddenly, like you wasn't planned to, for example, plan to adopt. Like maybe you went volunteering at a dog shelter and the next thing you know you adopted a dog. It could be that type of energy, like there's no planning, there's no preparing, it just suddenly happened and suddenly you gain a pet. Yeah, and this contract is of course mutually beneficial because there's a theory, right, that your pet also chooses you. You can't be the only one who choose that pet. The pet will choose you too, and the pet that you have pie 1 shows you as well. They deem you trustworthy. They deem you like a best friend, like a true best friend. So like I said, if you don't have a pet yet, just watch out for next period, next chapter of your life. Maybe in 3 months you might suddenly find yourself with a pet. And yeah, they deem you loyal and a very joyful human being, joyful soul to be with, and they want to be with you, they want to spend time with you. Your contract basically states the condition is with any pet, it's like enjoying each other energy, company. There's nothing much you can do with your pet except spending time with them and playing with them, and taking them a walk, understanding them. And pet is the one relationship that give you unconditional love. I feel like what this contract is teaching you, pie 1, is first of all, your pet is teaching you unconditional love, how you have unconditional love for your pet, and vice versa, how your pet have unconditional love for you. You do not expect your pet to get a job, for example, get a certain job, go into a certain career path, or you do not expect your pet to marry someone or expect your pet to be in a certain standard. Of course, we do have certain expectation of like hoping that our pet is a good boy, if you know what I mean, like listen to us when we say sit down and not, breaking stuff. But other than that, there is no unrealistic expectation or standard you put on each other. So the first thing that this contract teaches you and what you might be benefit from this contract is learning to accept yourself unconditionally, to thy own self be true, loving yourself as you are, accepting yourself as you are, treating yourself gently like a small animal. How you treat your pet reflects how you teach yourself. By one, and yeah, that's a very big lesson, and you're learning that with this pet of yours. Okay, next I'm gonna give you this journey of love oracle just to see further what else are you benefiting from this contract. By one, and you got number 4, simplicity. Okay. Oh, there's a bird here. You might have a pet bird. So the biggest thing you're benefiting from is gratefulness. I would say enjoying the ordinary, enjoying the mundane, enjoying your simple life. This contract is teaching you that you don't need much to be happy or to feel fulfilled. If you have a best friend, if you have a loving, loyal pet, a loyal, loving bond or connection is what improves your quality of life. And it's the most simplest things, and you could say it's not even physical, it's not 3D based. Having a connection specifically with your pets by one is what is giving you fulfillment, and it's as simple as that. Spending a day with your pets, spending a day together, spending time in each other's company is as simple as taking your dog out for a walk, for example, can improve the quality of your life and can make everything feel better. When you have a bad day from your job and you're so tired and you're so irritated, but then when you come home and you see your dog face, your pet, and all the tiredness melt away, all the sadness and anger melt away, you just want to cuddle with your pets, cuddle with your dog. Yeah, so this contract is showing you the importance of connection, specifically with pets, with companion, and specifically for some of you, if you're thinking of traveling with your pets, for example, taking your dog for a hike to the beach, yeah, just traveling with your pet, with your birds as well, like taking your birds for a fly out in the forest, whatever it is, a trip, you should go for it. It's like confirmation that you should do that. Planning a trip with your pets. Yeah, a lot of people do go on trip, but not specifically with their pets because it is harder to, harder and more expensive to bring pets with you on a trip. But I feel like if it's what you want and don't mind putting in a little bit more effort of taking your pet out to a trip with you, I feel like that's a good idea, and I feel like your pet would love it very much and you'll have a great time. So yeah, this invisible contract that binds you between you and your companion, your pet might have come unexpectedly, suddenly, and yeah, you did not prepare for it, but ultimately you choose each other. You choose your pet and your pet chose you by one, and now it's just a matter of deciding to spending the remaining time together in this world. Your pet is a member of your soul family, Pi 1. It's just a confirmation for some of you. They are in the same soul family as you and they decided to come down as your pet instead of a human. But ultimately, you are from the same soul tribe. So yeah, one more thing that you might be learning from this contract is that learning to, like I mentioned, accept yourself as who you are. It's like your pet will not care which career path you're going. Your pet does not care who you marry. Your pet doesn't care if you doesn't look good today, or I don't know, if you don't have a certain agree of certain things, yet your pet do not give a about that, and that's refreshing. I feel like by one, if you have this expectation or condition set for yourself, or even from other people or society, it's like, oh, I better get married, for example, at this particular age, or else it's too late. It's like that kind of mindset. I feel like what this contract is helping you is to delete all those mindset of condition of boxes and timeline, because learning from your companion, learning from your pet's perspective, they do not have any of that. For example, your dog don't care what other dog colors is. They don't care if the other dog is richer or poorer or what status they're in. Dogs have no societal structure system. Dogs have no systematic pressure. Yeah, and maybe that's why they're so happy all the time. But it's not like we can completely eradicate those systems from our life. But what exactly you're learning from this particular contract, part one, is that we don't have to put so much pressure and expectation on ourselves to fulfill all these boxes and expectation in order to be accepted for who you are, because like I mentioned, your companion already accepts you for who you are and love you for who you are, and that's the biggest lesson you're learning from this contract. Number 4, simplicity. Bound to that which is simple, you will find answer to your most complex issues and those questions that seem to defy the possibility of an answer. You will find the solution now through simplicity. Live one day at a time. Have gratitude for whatever you possibly can, even if you are yet to understand why you should be grateful, because you cannot perceive the gift hiding within your struggle quite yet. Trust in the goodness of life, seeking to serve you into becoming the fullness of all that you are. Yes, beloved, even in your darkest night, the light of love is serving you. The most sophisticated of problems can be resolved through a simple answer. Love, trust, have faith, be patient, wait, and you shall see. Let simplicity be. This oracle brings you an answer. Everything is going to be all right. Don't add fuel to the fire and look for ways to sort out complicated matters prematurely. Sometimes ingredients need to cook and percolate so that they can become a meal. The circumstances with which you are struggling will right themselves in time. Stay present and be patient. Pray in your own way. Meditate. Meditation, time in nature. Dance and literally talk to the divine. When you need to take a clear, simple action, you will feel it. Relax and know it is all going to work out for the best. There is peace for one whose heart is open. Yeah, the word fullness come up in that explanation. It's like if you are looking for answer, looking for solution, like having, overthinking about just, anxiety and stress out in general in this world, like, oh, what should I do? What career path should I take? I need to do more. I need to get married before. Like, if you have this overthinking tendency, part one look into your companion eye, your dog's eyes, for example, help you release all those worries, and you're like, it doesn't matter. This companionship, this contract is helping you releasing, like I mentioned, expectation, but also worries, like it doesn't matter right now. What matter right now is spending a time with my dog, cuddling my dog, and yeah, it's like that's the whole point. The answer you're looking for with this card is so simple. Spending time with your loved one. And I feel like the contract state is just spending time together. That's the condition. That's just one condition that you both are bound to, and your companion are waiting, and your companion is very delighted to spend time with you. They are waiting for you to spend time with them. So it's just up to you to choose to spend time with your companion, your pet. So yeah, that's just one condition of the contract. So that's it, part one. That's the invisible contract that you are bound to, that you might not notice. And I hope this reading resonates. I hope it's helpful. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, part one. Bye. Hello and welcome to another pick a card reading. So pile 2, whoever chooses this brown pen. So today pick a card is going to be a short one about what invisible contract are you bind to, maybe without knowing. And I already shuffle your cards. You got number 19. A lone tower stand confident and secure. Ground your strength in all that is pure. When troubles surround, weakness may come. Problem that abound you must overcome. Clarified by the Ace of Swords. And one can be the master of what one does, but never of what one feels. What invisible contract that you are bound to without knowing is the first thing come to mind is an idea with the Ace of Swords. Everything starts with an idea, and I think you are bound by an idea, or you have made a contract with a specific idea. It could be creative work. There is a theory, I believe, that the idea chooses the artist. The dream chooses the artist. The art or the idea want to be created by a specific person. Like idea are their own entity, right? Their own energy. And for example, it could be a book, like a very specific book. Let's think of a book that we all know, for example, the Harry Potter, like Harry Potter books series. There's a theory that some idea do choose their, why do I want to say host, but they do choose the vessel, they choose the artist. And I feel like by 2 you have made a contract, or an idea have chosen you and you agree to carry it out. It could be different for each of you, but it could lean more into creativity. But with the Ace of Swords, it could be an invention, like breakthrough, for example. It's giving scientists vibe as well, discover a cure. And yeah, but with this card, one can be the master of what one does, but never what one feels. Yes, and the reason why you are chosen, or you choose as well, to carry out this idea is because you feel strongly about it. You are passionate about it. You want to be the one who created. With the 19, the tower make me think of architecture. It could be a contract to build interior design, a home, a building, to build literally a tower. It could build a building. That could be one as well with the tower, but the tower is giving like building from scratch. This invisible contract that you are bound to by 2 is that you have to build this thing, this idea, this creative work from scratch. Ground your strength in all that is pure, yeah, and from pure energy. And it's not gonna be easy. This idea might need time to carry out, even years. You know, that example of a book, to write a book, let alone a whole series, might take the artist, the writer, years to achieve, and specifically maybe 7 years. And that's how long the contract is. And along the journey, there might be doubt, or there might be like self-doubt, and the confidence might go down and question might start. That example of the Harry Potter series, this is what I remember. I'm not sure if it's fact, but it's like the author, J.K. Rowling, was not able to secure a publisher, I believe, until like her 7th attempt, I believe. So it's like the journey might be long and arduous, and you might be by 2 the only one who can see the vision, who believe in your idea, your creative work. And in a way you might have to fight for it, or try multiple attempts with that example. And why do you have such a strong feeling to carry it out to the end? Why couldn't you give up easily? Once again, that example, like why did J.K. Rowling, for example, try to publish her book 7 times? Like why does she still keep trying? Why doesn't she give up? You know what I mean? And another book, if you know what I'm talking about, is The Alchemist. I don't know the artist's name, but it's have the same storyline, as in it took years for him to be able to publish his book. it took years for him to be recognized or like get accepted by a publisher. He got rejected many times and many years, but he still persevered and fight for his idea, his book. And it's all come down to the invisible contract that he made with that idea, I believe. Just like you by two, you agree to fulfill your side of the condition, and I believe the condition is to carry out the idea and to share it. That example of a book, your condition is to write the book no matter how many years, how long it will take, and then share it with the public, either publish or self-publish. And you will fulfill that condition no matter how hard it is and no matter how rejection you might face in the future. But ultimately, that is the contract you are buying to. Both sides, like the idea shows you, but sometimes we might forget when self-doubt creep in that we also choose the idea. Like, for example, if you're trying to write a book and you're having difficulties creating this book, writing this book, your fear and self-doubt might go like, I can't do this. Like, I can't carry out the vision. It's too hard. I can't finish it. It's not working. There will be these moments, or you might already went through this with your idea by two, but just remember that your soul agreed to this contract for a reason, and the idea come to you for a reason. It's because you are the idea itself. Your soul agree with the vision of the idea, and the journey is part of the fun. The unfolding is part of the fun, and it's important to not forget that when we create, because creating is supposed to be fun. Creating anything, building home, building furniture, whatever it is, the idea that you have, creating recipe, discovering medicine, discovering botany. The ultimate point of the contract is that we discard, ground your strength in all that is pure. When troubles surround, weakness may come, prom-pam that about you must overcome. Weakness may come, doubt may come, like the thought of giving up may come, but prom-pam that about you must overcome, as in, don't forget why you want to do this in the first place. Don't forget why you want to create this thing in the first place. That example of a book, why do you want to write a book in the first place? Sometimes it's so difficult and it's so hard, but ultimately, what are you doing it for? As a creative myself, one of the answer would be, it's because it's fun. It's because it make you feel powerful. You could even say it make you feel like a god, because you have the creative power and you want to see how you can manifest that into reality. How can you make the idea, the story in your head into a physical 3D tangible thing that people can share and admire? Yeah, and that's very magical. That's very fun experience. That's like to test your limit and to test your ability. Yeah, it feels amazing to be able to create from scratch. Yes, that example, to start a book, to write from the first word to the last word and make a book. When you try to create anything, the journey is just magical. I don't know how to describe it, but that might be one of the reasons why you agree to this contract. And yeah, like I mentioned in the beginning, the idea shows the artist, and the artist also resonate with the idea and they consent to it and they choose the idea. It's a two-way street. You did make a contract with a big idea. Pi 2, I want to say with Ace of Swords, a very big idea, maybe a discovery of a lifetime for you, for this generation, and it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be built from scratch. It's gonna take strength, confidence, and the ability to overcome pom-poms. I'm using that example again. It's like that Harry Potter book series. Like, it takes years, it takes multiple attempts, but ultimately you will fulfill the contract as long as you don't give up and as long as you have fun and lean into the passion, lean into the feeling. I feel like if you feel like you're getting like obsessive, or you're getting like the feeling might be too much, for an artist or for a writer, for example, you might feel like I'm being too obsessive over my writing. I feel like the advice is to lean in and uncapped. Don't be afraid to embody the emotion. Don't be afraid to go big, Don't be afraid to lean into the feeling of your creation. And obsession is never good, but in order to create something iconic, you do need a little bit of obsession, I believe. Next, I'm going to give you this Journey of Love Oracle. You got number 49, Woman of Light. Wow, very pretty. Pie 2 is giving inspiration. Whatever idea, creative work you have made a contract with or you've been thinking about doing, if you haven't started, it's gonna create a wave. I heard a wave of inspiration. So Pie 2, I believe most of this group have an idea what I'm talking about, like have something in the back of their mind that they know what I'm talking about, an idea. Like for example, you have that book in the back of your mind that you've been trying to write or meaning to write, or something you've been thinking of creating. So I think majority of Pie 2 know what I'm talking about. And yeah, this oracle is just confirming that, not just confirming, it's also guaranteeing that what you are creating is an inspiration, first of all, to you first, to show you what you're made of, to show you your creative power, to show you your magician power, and to show you what you can do. And yeah, it's gonna create waves of light, of inspiration, I heard shock wave for some reason. It's gonna shock people, but in a good way. It's gonna touch a lot of hearts. Just think about the Harry Potter series. It's gonna stay with people for a long time. Whatever you're creating, it's gonna help a lot of people. People will be able to relate to it. Some people might even worship what you create. Pie 2, yeah, it might even become their religion, just like Harry Potter, right? At this point, it's like a religion. Yeah, something like that. Very big, very revolutionary. That's why it's not easy. That's why not everyone can do it, because if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna create something like that, you have to choose to do it. You have to want to do it, It's like no one gonna force you to write a book, for example. You have to want to. You have to decide to. No one gonna force you to build furniture or build a house. This is a decision that Pie 2, I think you had made, whether you're aware or not. You had made and you have signed the invisible contract, and you are bound to create out this idea. And I believe, if your human mind might be a bit hesitant, your soul is consenting, is happy to create the idea, to carry it out. So it's actually, your soul is actually excited. Your soul is actually excited to carry it out, excited to test their ability. It's actually like looking forward to, that example, writing that book, see what come out, create that furniture, discover a cure from illness. It's like your soul is so eager to do this, eager to build it from scratch, from the ground up, create this idea from the ground up. So I hope your human mind catch up soon and get on board as well, because your soul is already excited to carry out this contract. Pie 2, number 49 on page 115, Woman of Light. Pure is my joy, my celebration. I know the divine to be eternal. There is no limit to my peace, to my pleasure, as I rise and rise and rise again. Capable am I of receiving the light, of accepting the next level of illumination. I am sacred flesh coming to light. I am the walking temple, the living goddess, she who shines with truth. I come to you now. I am one with you now. I am the awakened one and the awakener. This oracle brings you guidance that you are to be witness to the presence of an awakened being, either within your own self as part of your spiritual destiny or in the form of a beloved other. An awakened one is in your midst or soon will be. Receive the blessing that emanates from such a being, for the For to be whole one is the greatest spiritual gift that will lift you to the next step of your path. If you are having trouble discerning the true presence of an awakened teacher in your midst, or even in your own being, remember that nothing is asked from you by such awakened ones but loving devotion, so that they may serve the awakening of all living beings. It requires much karmic grace to be granted immediate access to an awakened being, even more to become such a living light. Take delight. I ask God for a deepening of my love without realizing that the deeper I was willing to go, the more it involved letting go of any part of myself that wanted to love and still be safe. In surrender to the possible lay the greatest potential for love at levels before unknown, like a cistern that holds the nectar of life and give its precious liquid only to be filled again with nature's flow. Such knowingness is a gift. For if you can embrace the blessing, you can live without question, relaxing and replenishing with each breath, with each kiss, always home. You're gonna create something. God light is like, there's something that human have created by two that you couldn't believe your eyes. I have my personal experience myself. Like for example, when I went to Italy, I saw the cathedral in Italy, the famous one in Milan. It's like when you look at those type of building, like those architecture, especially in those time, you'd be questioning like, did human really create that? Did human really build that cathedral? If you know what I mean. Some things are very unbelievable. You cannot believe that it's touched by human, and ultimately we know that it isn't just human. It's a combination of you could say the universe or God or divine, whoever you believe in, working within you to create that thing. So yeah, just know that whatever you are creating by two, you're not doing it alone, and the energy you do it with is the most important. The joy, the pureness, the love you create it with is ultimately will imbue whatever you create, whether that's a book or even a building or a movie. Just remember that the energy you're doing it with is the most important ingredient. Another great creation that I want to mention is flowers. The universe or God or whoever you believe in created flowers, and I think it's such a unique, very beautiful, you could even say ethereal, the most wonderful creation I have ever witnessed, because I love flowers. So you have that power. Pi 2, don't forget you have that power to create something, we could say godlike as well. So just be patient. Pi 2, that's it for a quick reading on what invisible contract you are bound to without knowing. And I hope this resonates. I hope this is helpful in any way, Pi 2, and good luck on your journey of creation. And yeah, that's it, Pi 2. Thank you for being here. Bye bye. Hello, Pi 3. Hope you choose this orange pen. So today's reading is going to be a short reading on what invisible contract are you bound to without knowing, or maybe you might have an idea. I already shuffled the cards, and the card you got is number 36. A cross we pain historically sad, a distance too close mean tiding are bad. Suffering increases when the cross is near, but burden can lift if you persevere. And clarified by the Two of Cups and this coat. And if the scar is deep, so was the love. So I feel like this pie might be very specific for some of you, so only take what resonates, and if you doesn't resonate with what I'm about to say, then you can pick another pie. Maybe this pie is not for you. So pie 3, invisible contract that you are bound to. With this card, it's giving marriage, and I know marriage is not an invisible contract. It's a very physical contract, but to marry someone is also a spiritual contract, and this is giving marriage specifically in a religious place like a church, for example, or a temple. And another example is arranged marriage, or a setup marriage for benefit as well. And if you don't resonate with marriage, then it was a lover contract, like perhaps significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, a significant lover. You might not notice, or maybe you do. You had a significant contract with another person, and their role was to play your loved ones. And for those of you who resonate with marriage, this could pertain to a divorce. If you've been through a divorce before, then this is a confirmation that this is your pi. And if you don't resonate at all with this message, then this might not be your pi again, because this contract is very straightforward and very to the point and very specific. Like I mentioned, pi 3, you might have a contract with a significant other. And with this card, and if the scar is deep, so was the love. I feel like you had already fulfilled your contract, and this is just a briefing on why it had to end. It's giving 3 of swords. I feel like this contract didn't end well in the human mind, in the human way. For example, if you were married and then you got a divorce, to society or to the way you think, it might be like a failure, or it didn't end well, or it wasn't a success. But I'm happy to inform you by 3 is that in this spiritual contract, in the contract way, it was a success. This contract has been fulfilled, and you're just giving a briefing, or you're just giving an explanation on why it has to be that way, why it has to be hard, why you had to suffer so much with this. A cross we paint a distance too close means suffering increases when the cross is near, but burden can lift if you persevere. It's like if you were in a marriage, it wasn't, a happy one. It was quite hard to adjust. Even if it's not a marriage, if it's a relationship with a significant other, it was a bit hard. There were a lot of confusion, argument, hard to adjust, a lot of lesson learned. It's like you went through a journey through this relationship, a very significant relationship by 3. And I feel like this is in the past. I feel like it already happened. Like you been through it and you come out of the other side. So like I mentioned, the contract had been fulfilled, and if you can think of a significant relationship you had entered, whether officially or not, you both had fulfilled it. So that's really good news in terms of this. You both had fulfilled your contract. And although it wasn't fun, although it left many scars, it was the one you signed up for ultimately. And there might be a lot of heartbreak along the way, and even after it, this contract has been fulfilled. And I feel like both you and that significant person that you were in a relationship with had got their benefit, the end of the contract, like got out what they agreed to, got the lesson they agreed to learn from this. You and that person benefit from being distant to each other. Another specific example is child support as well. You will, or you are getting the benefit of that child support. If you need child support from your partner, you will get it. You will win the trial or the case, or they will agree to give you that child support. So that's just very specific. Yeah, I feel like you know what you learned from this relationship. This relationship had taught you so much about yourself, so much about empowerment, so much about your boundary. It's like you have gained valuable lesson, valuable knowledge, such intense growth from this contract that you couldn't even say it was a mistake or it was a failure. I feel like you cannot define it as such because of how much you gain, how much you learn from fulfilling this contract, from going through with it. I just want to clarify specifically, what lesson did you learn from this fighting between that person? What did you learn specifically? Like the biggest thing you learned from this relationship? Okay. 9 of Wands. Okay, now I want to talk about endurance, resilience, fighting for what you believe in. I feel like this relationship have helped you believe in yourself immensely, believe in your ability, believe in if you can go through this, if you went through that pi tree, you can go through anything. It's like it gave you this boost of confidence. Like if I've been through that, for example, you now know that you're capable of going through anything because you have solid proof of your journey. If you can go through that, for example, that divorce without losing yourself, with your head held high and coming out intact, you are capable of so much. And like I mentioned, the journey wasn't a mistake. You did not make any mistake. You cannot make any mistake. It was a step plan. It was a planned contract that your soul agreed, that your soul planned to carry out when they came here. And you did carry it out. You fulfilled it. And the lesson was learned. Putting it this way might be quite detached and quite easy, like laying it out like that. But experiencing it, going through it in real life, Paitri, you know how hard it was. From now on, it's not going to be that hard. And from that beautiful fire, you could say, burning, came out a beautiful crystal. I don't know why I want to give this specific example. It's like, you could even say glass blowing. It's like you were playing with fire in a way. By trying with your experience, the fire either burn you or shape you. And you're like that beautiful glass. The experience has shaped you like this to a cup into such beautiful glass, magnificent of a soul into who you are today because of that experience. That experience show you who you are, and who you are is so beautiful. I keep saying that, like so beautiful, so giving, have such a big heart, so reciprocal, so strong, so resilient. You're not the type of person who give up easily. You are the type of person who will fight for what they believe in, and in a way you were fighting for the marriage until you realize that example, fighting for the relationship, until you realize that you can't be the only one fighting, until you realize that you have to fight for yourself. If the other person is not willing to fight for you or for the relationship, you learn that it's okay to fight for yourself for once. And it's amazing what you've been through and what you gained. So you should be very proud of yourself, Paitri, because you are amazing and you're very strong. And to get through that, to fulfill that contract, you must be such a very strong and brave soul to plan that type of contract for your human experience. You must know how strong your human vessel or your human person like you are in order to plan this type of journey, because this journey is not for the it's not for the weak soul or not just for anyone, So if you've been fighting, for example, fighting a lot in the relationship, fighting with yourself, fighting the world, in that chapter, just know that the contract has been fulfilled and you don't need to fight anymore. As in, you can take it easy. There's no need to trying to prove yourself or trying to hold it together. What I mean is, it's okay to break down or show your scar. It's okay to be vulnerable. And if you want to talk about what you've been through, if you want to write it or share it or tell someone, write a book about it. In a way, you kind of have that knowledge, like you're an expert on that specific topic. Like for example, if you went through a very horrendous divorce, you are knowledgeable in that specific journey, so you can give your 2 cents, Paitri, if you want to share. It would in a way heal you and also help a lot of people who's going through difficult relationship journey as well. Another specific example is, I don't think this is for everyone, but another specific example is you might have been in a very toxic relationship. Paitri, one example would be with a narcissist, for example. It's like very heavy, very dense energy relationship contract you were with. This is just confirmation for you and acknowledgement that it wasn't an easy path, but once again, just letting you know that this contract has been fulfilled and ended. You do not need to be in, and you will not be in those type of relationship again, because you have learned your lesson and you have choose yourself. And it was a tough lesson, but in a way your soul know you can do it. There's a theory, there's a saying, I don't know if you would agree, but they say that your soul choose your human lesson. So any obstacle, any difficult journey that we go through in life is because a soul chooses it. A soul chooses to learn this particular lesson, and I feel like maybe by 3 finally you have come to agree or maybe come to accept that saying. Yeah. Okay, by 3 you got number 3, burning hero. Yes, orange. I feel like maybe number 3 may be significant to you as well. By 3 you have defeated the odds. You have go against the odds and won. I feel like maybe that's how you felt with the difficulty, the journey, the contract you would say that you had gone through. Maybe you had this thought a lot of, why must I go through this? Why is this happening to me? It's like it's impossible to heal. It's impossible to get over this. It's impossible to come out unscathed. I don't know. It's impossible to be pure after this journey. It's impossible to come back to yourself. I feel like you might have this thought while you were going through the difficult journey, while you were fulfilling the contract. But I'm here to let you know by 3 is that you have done the impossible. You have defeated the odds through the contract. Drawing it, you are healing your sacral, your solar, and then your root chakra. You are particularly focused on those chakras with this color, and that has awakened your power. I want to say burning hero. Yes, I did mention about fire. I think I mentioned glass blowing. In order for the glass to be in a beautiful clear shape that they are, they need to go through fire. They need to be burned. And I'm not talking about literal burning by 3. I'm talking about metaphorical. You went to hell fire, you would say, and you came out a beautiful glass stain. You came out so beautiful. I keep saying for some reason, but that fire did not burn you. That fire made you. That fire shaped you into who you are today, which is beautiful. And you need to give yourself that credit as well. By 3. Number 8 might be significant to you or confirmation. You need to give yourself that credit by 3 because you did all the work. You didn't give up. You went through it, and it's giving phoenix energy a little bit. Phoenix, yeah. Whereas a lot of people might have burned to ashes, and no offense to them, it's just that some journey are not for everyone. I'm just saying that while some people might be burning, into ashes, by 3 turn into a glass, a beautiful stained glass. You turn into a phoenix. You turn into a hero. Yeah, it made you a hero, first of all, to yourself. And if you have a child, a kid, you are their hero. Number 3, burning hero on page 22. From the transformative fire of life tests. Yes, transformative fire of life tests. You have been transformed by 3. You emerge now stronger in self-belief, overcoming self-doubt and fear, and shedding the layers that have held you back from burning as a naked flame of divine love. Can you perceive the coolness fast approaching to soothe your fire-weary soul? Peace is coming to you now, a respite from the fire, before you are ready to burn into love again. The intensity of fire exists in relationship to cool serenity, and you are capable of experiencing both. Your inner fire has pushed you forward, and your creative self-expression will manifest into the most beautiful form. This is assured. You burn bright now, and yet it will be the cooling of your soul ember that replenish you and inspire you to new creative depths and heights in due time. This oracle brings you a message. From the heat of your labor, sweet success will arise, and you can act now as if that success has already been made manifest. It is only a matter of time before it is so. From that success, new level of experience and creative manifestation will take place. You are in a powerful creative cycle of intensity and serenity, dancing with each other through your heart like the sweet relationship of day and night. This cycle yields great harvest. Offer yourself in contribution to the greater good, and your harvest will be not only of earthly delight, but of heavenly blessing too. Always feeling your love in every cell of my being, I open my soul, becoming one in your embrace. How rich the moments share, I savor everyone. And even when apart, your love enveloped me with knowing we are complete together like a new day. We are born. Congratulations, you have freed yourself from, it's giving the word twin flame as well, if you resonate with that, from a very intense twin flame journey or to intense relationship journey with a significant person. And it might not be the healthiest, but ultimately you are reborn and renewed, and now your fire is not burning you, it's lighting you up and showing you the way. And I feel like from this experience you had created, or you're gonna create something from beautiful from it. Like I mentioned, a book, art, and drawing. I don't know what it is, but you get inspired by this, by the journey, if you haven't yet, and you will create something beautiful out of it. Yeah, my personal example is like when I go through such difficult time, I always write a poem, and the poem turned out to be so beautiful, if I say so. Yeah, that's it, Pi Tree. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped and resonate for you. If it does, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here, Pi Tree. I see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Pi 4. Whoever chooses this blue pen. So today reading is going to be a quick reading about what invisible contract are you bound to without knowing. And I already shuffled your cards, and you got number 5. One tree from earth is best to see. Its spring from birth could help for thee. And if the tree should reappear close to the current, your goal is near. And then clarified by the tower, and then the sun, and then this quote. Freeing yourself was one thing, claiming ownership of that free self was another. I'm not really 100% sure what this is, so I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking. It's giving breaking free. First of all, it's giving destruction. It's giving destroying, but like with the tower, necessary destruction. With the tree, I feel like tree represent root, groundedness, and even ancestry. So I feel like by 4 you have break free of something that was quite difficult. One board example I could give is like, if there's ever ancestry, you could even say curse or karma in your family. I feel like you were a contract to be the one who break free from it. And that sounds very significant, but I feel like it is. Number 5, it's like you are contract by 4 to bring big change into your family. First of all, your ancestry line, your bloodline. It's like you are contract to be the first to do something, to achieve something, to become something that was difficult for your family. Okay, I'm just gonna give such a ridiculous, but maybe not, perhaps not. Example is by 4, maybe you are contract without you knowing or not to be the first millionaire in your family. Like that's just an example. It's like in your family line, by 4 there's no one who have achieved that level of wealth and abundance. Like there's no millionaires in your family yet. You are contract to become the first, to break the, you could even say the score, to break the consistency, to break the, what do you call that? To break the predictability. How are you even gonna do that? You know what I mean? It's like to do something that no one have ever done before in your family. Of course, you have to do things that your family have never done before. That's why where the tower come in, is that you have to break foundation even. You have to break routine. You could even say heal from the root. That example of become the first millionaire in your family. In order to receive that much abundance, you have to heal your lack mentality, your lack wound within your family. This is just an example. It's like there's so much work that you are binding to do, I want to say, but in a way you have done a lot. Pi 4, in a way, with the sun, I feel like you have already achieved or have fulfilled most of the condition. With that example of becoming the first millionaire in your family, you might not have achieved that yet, but you have become the first person in your family to become a business owner, for example, that your family line, bloodline have never done. I don't know what it is specifically, pi 4, but it's unique for each of you, but it's something that's hard to alchemize, hard to break. And I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it because that would be discrediting your effort, discrediting your hard work. This is a very intense contract with the Tower. It's like you have to uproot from the foundation, you have to heal, you have to change the root, heal the root of that tree in order to transform it. One example would be you are contract to heal your feminine line of your family, and that amount of work is intense. In a way, I feel like your soul have agreed to this contract. That's why it's showing up, and I just want to say you are doing a good job and you are doing it. Pi 4, you are fulfilling that contract. You are healing your bloodline. You are gonna, or you already might have become the first person in your family line to do something that associate with the sun, something bright, something joyful, something that align more to your values, something that align more to your soul. You know, you might be the first person who follow their soul in your bloodline, the first to follow their calling, your soul, your joy, and you already break the rules, break the protocol. I want to see break the status quo by doing that. So you have already achieved more than half of your contract. I want to say you have freed yourself. You have already been freed from the worst. I would say from the worst. I feel like you have already fulfilled you could even say the hardest part of the contract, which is choosing differently from what expected of you or what you're supposed to do. You already fulfilled the hardest part, pi 4. Okay, so that's the invisible contract. I feel like most of you pi 4 might already know. Like I mentioned, it might be specific for each of you because you are contract to heal a family line, and each family might be different. Yeah, this one is a bit bored, but I would say that it's not less intense in any way. This one might be the most intense contract. And with 2 major arcana as clarifier, it might take generations even. It might take maybe many lifetimes by 4, but you're gonna be successful this lifetime, and you have the help of your ancestor behind you. You're not doing it alone. You're not healing the bloodline alone. You have help and you are doing a good job. So keep going, keep doing it, keep choosing yourself, keep keeping that wealth mentality, keep aiming for the stars, keep aiming for the sun, keep aiming for a bright future. It's like that example. If you want to be a millionaire and your family is like, what are you talking about? We're a line of doctors. Like, what are you talking about? It's just an example. Just letting you know by 4 is that you can aim for that. You don't need to hold back. You can aim high. With these 2 major arcana, you're here to make impact. You're here to aim big. You're here to fulfill your potential. Yeah. So, yeah, just advice is go on, aim high, because you are capable. Yeah, you alchemize strategy into experience, into lesson. There's nothing that you can do by 4. Just reminding you that if you want to be, for example, again, a millionaire, you can be a millionaire. If you want to be a business owner, you can be a business owner. And if you don't have an example or who to look up to, or anyone to give you advice on a particular unique path, just know that that's part of the journey. That's part of the fun. You have to be the first to figuring things out. Maybe from like in your family, for example. Another example is the first person to get a master degree, and such a unique journey to you because no one else had done it in your family, and you don't know like who you can ask for advice about that because you're the first and the only one who did it. That's just showcase what you're capable of, but that's just an example. Yeah, another one would be like if no one in your family have traveled to India, for example, and you're the first to went backpacking in India. It's like you can take that credit and you can wear that badge because you are contracted to do something different. Your condition of this invisible contract, Pi 4, is that you abide or you agree to do something out of the norm or something that's never been done before in your bloodline. And I feel like you already did it, but there's more as well if you want. You can aim more if you want. Don't be afraid to want more. And it's not about like greed. It's like, oh, that example, are you aiming too high? Are you being too greedy? If you want to be a millionaire, like, it's not about greed. It's about knowing how much you can receive, knowing how much you're capable of. And it's not like that's gonna help add to your confidence. It's like you already know who you are and what you're capable of, and it's just a matter of you wanting to play, wanting to test out your capability. But ultimately, you already know what you can do. So if we already know what we can do, why don't we test the limit? Why don't we aim higher? It's giving another example as well. It's like you are the first in your family to run a marathon and you ran a 5K and you're like, okay, I know I can run a 5K because I did it. I ran a 5K. Like, I'm the first in my family to run a 5K. What if I want to run a 10K? What if I want to run 20K? Would you call that greedy? I don't think so. That's just you being ambitious. And I feel like if you were being guilted or being put down for aiming high or being called greedy or, not supported in your ambition, just know that being ambitious, wanting more, wanting to fulfill your potential, you are fulfilling your contract. It's like that's the whole point of why you incarnate into a family that have limits and try to put limits on you. Or it doesn't have to be a family, it could be friends, or it could be society, or it could be your own mental self, your own mental state. You came here to test your limit, and the contract that you are buying to, the condition is see what you can do to test your limit, to be ambition and to aim for more. And if you're doing that, you are fulfilling the contract. And don't feel bad about that because you came here to do just that. 5-4, if you know you can do more, why not find out? And like I mentioned before, this is not a place of pressure. It's not a place of trying to prove yourself. There's a difference between working hard because you need to prove something and working hard because you know your potential. You know what you're capable of. Now you're just testing that. 8x4. I'm going to give you an oracle card, Journey of Love. And you got number 33. God speak. I feel like speaking your goal out loud, even to yourself, alone, out loud by 4, might be very helpful to you. And affirmation might be very helpful to you. Affirmation of, for example, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be the first person in my bloodline to be a millionaire. Affirmation and affirming your goals out loud, what you're gonna do, what you want to achieve. I'm gonna achieve my master. I'm gonna run 20K this year. It's like speaking out loud your desire. Maybe in the past might be frowned upon or unsupported, but I feel like it worked for you. Pi 4, hearing the goal out loud, it feels more realistic. It's like setting a goal, being ambitious. You are fulfilling your contract, so never feel bad about aiming high. Pi 4, never feel bad about that. And I feel like you're the type of person who do what they said, say what you do, say what they do. It's like if you said you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it. Pi 4, you're the type to fulfill that promise. You could even say what you speak is sacred, because when you speak something, for example a goal, Pi 4, you intend to fulfill it. You have every intention within your power to achieve that thing, to do that thing. You have a very powerful voice, Pi 4, and like I mentioned, it's very beneficial for you to speak affirmation or speak your goal out loud and speak up more. I feel like, because I feel like your voice, I don't know, I am thinking of stand-up comedy, for example. It's like you'd be very good at speaking in public Oh, it's making me think of what I'm doing right now, like a tarot reader. All you hear is my voice, or yeah, something to do with speaking. You're a natural at that by 4. Your power is speaking your dream into existence, speaking your goal into reality. You have that power. Just letting you know, I guess. Oh yeah, you have that power to help you fulfill your dream. That's why you shouldn't hold back. Aim high. So number 32, God speak on page 83. The divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is the endless music of love pulsating throughout the universe. Within the sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still relaxed dancing in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It's to assure you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other, so you can move closer. Trust in the sound of love beyond anything else, for in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. This oracle brings you guidance. You are being loved into becoming. Be open to being shown the divine genius in all that is happening. If you feel you are being nudged, know you are being nudged by the divine. If you feel you are being held back, know you are being held back by the divine. All is happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you when you are captivated by the beauty of nature, or an illogical sense that everything is okay. Listen, that's the divine talking to you, assuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law, in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. When the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy, like the flower's sweet perfume, alive in the moment. There was nothing else, only the energy coursing through my body, and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the string, each note striking a chord within, and answering with the emotion of my heart zone. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory, to be with the violin when it sings. I feel like your invisible contract by 4 is to simplify it down, summarize it, is to help your family life, particularly your bloodline, and maybe your loved ones and people around you, the one you love, to help them dream big again, to inspire them to seek more and to dream bigger than themselves once again. Because as a child, we all have fantasy, we all have imagination and dream. Our dreams are unlimited when we were a child. If you want to be an astronaut, you believe that you can. If you want to be an actress or a singer, no one will tell you that it's impossible. I hope not anyway. So yeah, your contract that you're helping, that you're fulfilling, is to help your loved ones, people around you, dream big once more, just like when they did when they were small. I never watched this movie, but it's coming to mind, The Little Prince. Yeah, and by doing that, by 4, how can you fulfill the contract? It's by dreaming big yourself, by aiming high. And we're not talking about setting an impossible standard. We're talking about testing your limit, questioning your limited belief. And I feel like you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like you're doing it by 4. You're doing a good job. Healing your ancestry line. It's a very big job, and you're doing amazing. So, and just know that you're not doing it alone either. Your ancestor is with you. So yeah, that's it by 4. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is resonating. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.